Hello everyone, myself Juvi Rasideha. Today in this session I am going to discuss about the digestion and the absorption of the nutritional constituents, in which basically today's in this session I am going to discuss about the digestion of the carbohydrates, how the carbohydrates are going to be digested and they are absorbed in the intestinal level or in the intestinal form from the nutritional status. Now let us see. This is the topic from like digestion and the absorption of carbohydrate, and this topic covers from the physiology. Coming to the digestion, what is the digestion? Hydrolysis of large and complex organic molecules of foodstuffs into the smaller and preferably water soluble molecules which can be easily absorbed by gastrointestinal tract. GIT is nothing but the gastrointestinal tract. So in the simple thing we can define the digestion. It is the process where the large molecules are going to be break into the smaller molecules. That is the process of digestion. What he is saying, if you see the definition for the digestion, according to this, hydrolysis of large and complex organic molecules of foodstuff. So see here, whatever the large and the complex organic molecules are there, that could be break down into which form? Those are break down into the smaller form. This is the smaller form in the presence of water. That's why we are saying that hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is nothing but the breakdown of substances in the presence of water. That is called as the hydrolysis. Hydro means water, lysis means breakdown. Breakdown of the substances. This is the breakdown of substances in the presence of water. That process is called as the hydrolysis. And see here, the water molecules which can be easily absorbed by gastrointestinal. Why it has to be break down? Why? Because it has to be break and it can be easily absorbed in the gastrointestinal tract. So digestion of the macromolecules also promotes the absorption of soluble vitamins. Whatever the vitamins and the minerals are there, those vitamins and the minerals are easily absorbed in the soluble forms. Cooking of the food and mastication improves its digestibility by the enzymes. So see here, if you classify the food, so whatever the food is there, that food suppose this is the food, majorly the food consists of large molecules and the small molecules, and these large molecules by the process of digestion it could be break down into the small molecules, and whatever the smaller molecules, you can take the example of vitamins, you can take the example of minerals, monosaccharides and the free amino acids. After the breakdown of the substances, these all are absorbed by the process of the absorption, and where it could be absorbed, those are all absorbed into the bloodstream. This is the where all the nutrients are going to be absorbed into the bloods. So basically the food is majorly classified into the two forms. One is the large molecules, another one is the smaller molecules. Whatever the large molecules are there, these large molecules are break down into the smaller molecules, and whatever the smaller molecules are there, that may be like the vitamins, minerals, monosaccharides and free amino acids, all are come in the process of the absorption, and finally they are absorbed into the bloodstream as in the form of the nutrients. So see here the digestion of carbohydrates. If we talk about the digestion of carbohydrates, the principal dietary carbohydrates are the polysaccharides, disaccharides and the monosaccharides. So if we classify the carbohydrates, it may be classified into the three form: polysaccharides, which are the compounds of the sugars, and the disaccharides where the two compounds are there, and monosaccharides in which the only single molecules of the glucose are the sugar. You can see in the monosaccharides. The first one is the principal dietary carbohydrates. It may be like the polysaccharides. Poly means, as you know, the so many compounds are there which are combined, so many compounds which are combined to form a chain of the sugar molecules. That chain has to be break down to form into the simple molecules, and then disaccharides, and then lastly it could be finally breaks in the form of the monosaccharides. This one is the simple form of the sugars, or the simplest form of the sugar molecules, which could be stay in the form of a monosaccharides. The hydrolysis of the glycosidic bonds. Before understanding of the hydrolysis of the glycosidic bond, you just know what is the glycosidic. Glycosidic bond is the bond which is present in between the glucose molecules. If you see about the glucose molecule, those are all combined with a bond. That bond is called as the glycosidic bond, and it could be break by the process of hydrolysis and by the help of the enzyme. That enzyme is a glycosidases. Wherever the glycosidases, peptidases are there, those are concerned with the enzymes. And then this is like a flow chart. You can see here whatever the theoretical part I just discussed, those are all come under into this. First of all, this is the dietary carbohydrate, and this dietary carbohydrate is nothing but the food which we are eating. That is again classified into like monosaccharides, disaccharides and the polysaccharides. Saccharides, this word is related to the sugars. You have to remember this word is related to the sugars. Whenever we are talking about the sugar compounds, this is come under into like a saccharides. And if you take the example for monosaccharides, basically these are like a glucose and then fructose and then pentose. And for the disaccharides, like the milk sugar, lactose, maltose and the sucrose. Polysaccharides, which is again the familiar one, this is like a starch and the glycogen. The starch and the glycogen is the come under in the category of the polysaccharides. So carbohydrates, the food carbohydrates, the food which we are eat, that is basically contains the three forms. One is the monosaccharides and the disaccharides and the polysaccharides. Whenever we are taking the example for monosaccharides, you just remember the one thing, that is the glucose, fructose and the pentose. And disaccharides are the example like the lactose, which is a milk sugar, and maltose and then sucrose. In the gastrointestinal tract, all complexes or carbohydrates are converted to simple monosaccharides and absorbable forms. First of all, whatever the complex carbohydrates are there, those complex carbohydrates are break down into the simple form, and then it is absorbed into the gastrointestinal tract. And then see here the disaccharides. If you see the disaccharides, sucrose, you can take the example of the sucrose, and where the bonding is present. The bonding is present in between the 1,2 carbon, that is in the beta position, and then in the form of like a fructose. And lactose, where the bonding is present, here the bonding you can see in between the 1/4 beta D glucose level, means the bonding is present between the 1 and 4 carbon atom in middle. Then maltose. What is the maltose? If you talk about the maltose, here also the bonding is present between the 1,4 carbon atom molecules. So this is the disaccharides. If you take the examples for disaccharides, these are like a sucrose, and where the bonding you can see in between the 1 and 2 carbon molecules. In the lactose, the bonding present in between the 1,4 carbon molecules. In the maltose, the bonding is present in between the again 1,4 carbon molecules. Then digestion of carbohydrates occur in, so let us see how the digestion process will be take place and where from it is start. So first of all, the digestion of carbohydrates is occur in between in the mouth. It is start with the mouth and then stomach, and then it goes to the small intestine. So see here in this diagram you can assume that start with the mouth, anterior region, and then it goes into the stomach. This is the stomach, and then it is digested into the intestine, where finally after the digestion the absorption process will be take place. Absorption process will be take place. So what happens when the food is come into the mouth? How it will be start? So see the process of the digestion of carbohydrates in the mouth. First of all, the digestion of carbohydrates starts at the mouth. Okay, this is where it begins. In the mouth, food undergoes the mastication. What is the mastication? Before it has to be absorbed, it has to be masticate. Masticate means the large substances has to be break down into the simple pieces, or say easy to swallow. Easy to swallow. That process is called as a mastication. During the mastication, food comes in contact with saliva secreted by salivary glands. So, for the swallowing of the food, what we have to do? That could be in the normal condition, that could be in the easily absorbable condition. For that purpose, the food has to be mixed with the saliva. As a result, it is easy to swallow. Saliva contains carbohydrate splitting enzymes. That enzyme is called as the salivary amylase. The salivary amylase enzyme is called as the ptyalin. It is commonly called as ptyalin, salivary amylase, and here P is the silent. So you have to pronounce like the ptyalin. Ptyalin is the enzyme, or the salivary amylase is the enzyme which is useful for the splitting of the carbohydrates. Where? In the mouth. Where this salivary amylase activity you can see? You can see the salivary amylase activity in the mouth. Action of salivary amylase. What is the action? How it works? The ptyalin, how it affects on the food? It is a alpha amylase, requires the chlorine ions for the activation, and optimum pH is 6.7. So here this salivary amylase is a alpha amylase. It is in alpha condition, alpha amylase. It requires what? It requires chlorine ions. This is the chlorine negative charge ions for the activation and optimum pH, and it works on the amylase. So it act on the acidic in nature. It shows the 6.7 optimum pH. Salivary amylase hydrolases alpha 1,4 glycosidic bonds. So where this salivary amylase show its action? It show its action at the alpha 1,4 bonding. It breaks this alpha 1,4. It breaks this bond which is present in between the 1 and 4 carbon atom molecules of polysaccharides, producing the smaller molecules dystrin, maltose, maltotrioses, and the glucose. Salivary amylase action stop in the stomach. Where it is stop? It stop in the stomach. It does not show its action into the stomach. So salivary action is shows only in the mouth. It is shows its action in the mouth, that is in the acidic in condition, that is 6.7 pH, and it breaks the 1,4 glycosidic bond. Where it breaks? It breaks the this 1,4 glycosidic bond. And in this also you can see that this is a complex molecule of the glycogen, which is a polysaccharide. This total structure is the glycogen, which is a polysaccharide, and it shows somewhat branching, means all the chains are present and combine to form a complex material, and this is the bonding which is present in between this, that is the 1,4 glycosidic bonding. And by the action of enzyme, which action? Which enzyme is present here? You can see what is the enzyme, that is the alpha amylase. By the action of this alpha amylase, this glycogen is break down into the dextrin and oligosaccharides, and maltotrioses, and the different substances are also monosaccharides and the maltoses. Different simple compounds will be formed. These three are the simple forms which is formed after the breakdown of these glycogen molecules. And what are those? Those are like a maltotrioses, maltoses, isomaltoses. This is breakdown into these three forms which are the simple forms of the molecules. And after the digestion which will be take place into the mouth, then we have to see the digestion process in the stomach. How it will be take place? If we see the stomach and if we see the digestion process in the stomach, that could be presence in the action of hydrochloric acid in the presence of HCl. Whatever the carbohydrates are, you can take the example of sucrose. By the action of HCl, it could be breakdown into glucose and the fructose. No carbohydrate splitting enzyme in the gastric juices. Some dietary sources may be hydrolyzed to equimolar amounts of glucose and the fructose by the hydrochloric acid or by the HCl. And after that, what is the process of the food? It could be digested or it could be take place into the intestine. So see here, if we are talking about the digestion of food into the intestine, that is the anterior part of the intestine, that is the duodenum. Duodenum, you can see this is the diagram. So where if you can see this part here to here, this is the intestine. You can see the total part is covered as the intestine, and then in this part, this is the duodenum part where and how the digestion of the food will be take place. And so this is the diagram. You can see the stomach, how it will be there. This is the stomach, which is again the sac like structure, and it is end up with a narrow like junction like sphincters are present at this region, and then it is open up into let me take another color. This is the intestine, a hollow pipe like structure where the intestine is end up into the rectum. And what is this? You can see the structure. This is the bile duct, or then this is the bile, and this is the total part is the liver. And behind this, the gallbladder, which is again the green color, the gallbladder is present, and from where the bile juices are secreted. Food balls in the duodenum is mixes with the pancreatic juices. Whatever the juice which is come from the pancreas, those may enter into the duodenum, where the mixing of the food will be take place. The food is going to be mixed. Pancreatic juice contains the pancreatic amylase. What is the enzyme which is present into the pancreas? That is the pancreatic amylase. It is very much similar to the salivary amylase. What is the action of pancreatic amylase? If you see the action of pancreatic amylase, it is the enzyme and it is a alpha amylase. If you see that amylase, which form of amylase is? It is the alpha amylase, and pH is the optimum pH is 7.1, and it also requires the chlorine ion. It also requires the chlorine ion, and here the pH is 7.1 means it is the not the acidic, it is somewhat like a alkaline or the neutral in condition. The specifically hydrolyzes alpha 1,4 glycosidic bonds and not on alpha 1,6 bonds. It only breaks at the alpha 1,4 bond, but it does not breaks on the alpha 1,6 bond. It produces disaccharides, maltose, isomaltose and the oligosaccharides. If you zoom this picture, you can see that this is the duct, and then this is the pancreas. The total area is a pancreas, and then from pancreas all the hormones are secreted and release this into the pancreatic duct to the intestine, where the remaining digestion and the absorption will be take place. At the same time, from this gallbladder the bile juice is also secreted into the intestine. Whatever the juices from the pancreas, that is the pancreatic juice, from the gallbladder, that is the bile juice, all those juices are entering into the intestine, where the digestion process will be take place, and it breaks into the 1,4 glycosidic bonds, not the 1,6 glycosidic bonds. And you can see the example. This is the polysaccharides, starch and the glucosan, and in the presence of pancreatic amylase it is breakdown into maltose, isomaltose and the oligosaccharides. And what is the note here? The pancreatic amylase is an isoenzyme of salivary amylase. It differs only in the optimum pH of action. Both the enzymes are require chlorine ions. It needs the chlorine ions for their action. That is the ion activated enzyme, means to show its action, that is to show the action of pancreatic amylase, it needs the help of chloride ions. Such type of enzymes is called as the ion activated enzyme. And after that we have the next portion of the digestive system or the gastrointestinal tract, that is the small intestine. Again, if you can see the small intestine, the first part is called as the jejunum. The digestion of carbohydrates mainly take place in the small intestine by pancreatic amylase, as the food stays for a longer time in the intestine. So here the enzyme is shows in the presence of the another, that is the pancreatic amylase. The secretions which is come from the pancreas, it enters into the intestine, where the digestion process will be take place. The final digestion of that is the di and oligosaccharides to the monosaccharides primarily occurs at the mucosal lining of upper jejunum. Where it is present? It is present at the mucosal lining of upper region of the jejunum. It is carried out by oligosaccharides, that is the glucomylase, acting on the amylose, and the disaccharidases, that is acting on like a maltase, sucrase and the lactase. It affects on layer, it affects and break down into maltase, sucrase and the lactase. The different disaccharides, if you take the different disaccharides, first one is like a lactase. Ase means enzymes, lactases which affect on the lactose, which breaks. Lactose is a disaccharides, and that lactose is break down by the enzyme. That enzyme is called as the lactase. It is a beta galactosidase. It enzyme is a beta galactosidase enzyme. Lactose is a hydrolyzed to glucose and galactose. So suppose if we want to convert this milk sugar, that is the lactate, and this lactase is converted into which form? It is break down into like glucose and the galactose. Glucose and the galactose. Isomaltase, this isomaltase is break down at the 1/6 glycosidic bond and branching point, producing the maltose and glucose. So if you want to write this, it catalyze this isomaltase is break down the maltose and the glucose. What is the maltase? It hydrolyzes. The maltase is hydrolyzes at the 1,4 glycosidic bonds in between the glucose units in the maltose, and then sucrase, again it is effects on the sucrose. and this sucrose is break down into glucose and the fructose. So if you want to write this sucrose is break down into the glucose and fructose. It is break down into glucose and fructose. So let me tell you, it hydrolyzes the sucrose, means sucrose is converted into glucose and the fructose. So what are the different types of disaccharidases? The enzymes. What are the disaccharidases? The enzymes. These are the enzymes. First of all, we have to know enzymes. These are like enzymes. Disaccharidases are the enzymes and which affect on the disaccharides. Disaccharides like the lactose. On the lactose, which enzyme shows its action? Lactase. Lactase show the action on the lactose. Isomaltase show the action on the isomaltose. Maltase show the action on the maltose. Sucrase, it show its action on the sucrose. So it breaks on the different bondings, suppose at the 1,6 glycosidic bond or at the 1,4 glycosidic bond. Details of digestion of the carbohydrates. If you want to see the details how the digestion of carbohydrates will be take place, basically two types of the enzymes are important for the digestion of carbohydrates. What are these two types of enzymes? First one is like amylases and another one is the disaccharidases. Amylase converted into this amylase is converted to the disaccharides, polysaccharides into disaccharides, and the effect of salivary amylase and the pancreatic amylase. And what are the disaccharides? Is convert the disaccharides to the monosaccharides which are finally absorbed into the maltase, sucrase, lactase and isomaltase. So disaccharides, what are the disaccharides again? Maltase, sucrase, lactase and isomaltase. So these are the disaccharides which show its effects on the disaccharides. Disaccharides means two compounds of the sugar. And amylases, these are like different enzymes. Again it may be classified into two types. At the mouth the salivary amylase is present, and in the pancreas, from the pancreas the pancreatic amylase will be secreted into the intestine. And then we have the absorption of carbohydrates. After the digestion we have the absorption. Absorption of carbohydrates. The principal monosaccharides produced by the digestion of carbohydrates are these are maybe like glucose, fructose and the galactose. And this glucose accounts for 80% of total monosaccharides. Glucose accounts how many, the major quantity of the monosaccharides are the glucose quantity is the monosaccharides, and absorption occurs mostly in the duodenum and the upper jejunum. Where the absorption process will be take place? That may be take place into the duodenum and the upper jejunum region. Only monosaccharides are absorbed by the intestine. Absorption rate is maximum for the galactose and medium for the glucose and minimum for the fructose. First which will be absorbed? First absorption will be take place from the galactose, and it is highly absorbed. The galactose is highly absorbed and medium condition absorbed is the glucose and minimum is the fructose. And what is the mechanism of absorption? Different sugars possesses different mechanisms for their absorption. Like glucose is transported into intestinal mucosal cells by a carrier mediated and energy requiring process. So it depends on the energy. That energy it is in the form of like ATP. For the breakdown of the substances, the energy is needed. That energy is in the form of again ATP. And monosaccharides, the end products of carbohydrate digestion, enter into the capillary of the intestinal villi. So see here how the digestion of the absorption, if we take the intestinal lining, internal intestinal lining, so in the intestine these finger like projections are produced. These are nothing but the villi. So it is commonly called as the villi. By the compulsion force of these villi, the substances are break down. And we have the lactose intolerance. Some people does not digest the lactose. That condition is called so see here the lactase. Why? Because the deficiency of the enzyme, disaccharide digestive enzyme, that is the lactase, is not present. By the deficiency or the lackness of that enzyme is come under as a condition that is called as the lactose intolerance. More than half of the world's adult population is affected by the lactose intolerance. Some infants may also have the deficiency of lactase, means small young babies also have this problem and they show the intolerance. They are not easily digest the milk sugar or they can't drink the milk. What are the symptoms? If they drink the milk, that is the diarrhea, flatness and the abdominal cramps. So abdominal pain will be formed. And due to that, see here the abdominal distensions will be formed. So swelling of the abdominal will be, you can see, by the indigestion of the lactose, indigestion of the milk sugar. Such condition is called as the lactose intolerance. And lactose of milk cannot be hydrolyzed due to the deficiency of enzyme. That enzyme is called as the lactase. Accumulation of lactose in the intestinal tract, which is a osmotically active and it holds the water and producing the diarrhea. As a result of accumulation of lactose, it forms a clumping structure and due to that it absorbs the water. As a result, the diarrhea will be formed. Accumulated lactose is also fermented by intestinal bacteria which produce the gas and other products, it causing the flatness and abdominal pain. And some person are also have the sucrase deficiency. The enzyme sucrase is less and due to that sucrase deficiency will be seen. Inherited disorder of sucrose digestion. Symptoms occur in early childhood with ingestion of sugars like a sucrose. And what are the again symptoms here? That is the diarrhea and the flatulence and the abdominal cramp. And disacchariduria, that is like increase in the excretion of disaccharides may be observed. Some patients with the disaccharidase deficiency observed in the intestinal damage and the celiac disease. And so in this module I discuss about the definition of digestion and especially we are deal with this the digestion of the carbohydrates. If we talk about the digestion of carbohydrates, the carbohydrates are basically again divides into three forms. Those are like a polysaccharides, disaccharides and the monosaccharides. By the presence of enzymes like the monosaccharides, by the presence of glucose, galactoses, glucoses and the disaccharides like the lactases and like sucrases, by the presence of these enzymes all the compounds are break down into the simple form. And some pancreatic enzymes like pancreatic amylases, salivary enzymes like salivary amylases, by the action of these in the acidic nature the breakdown of the substances will be take place. So the process of the breakdown of food substances from the large molecules to the smaller molecule or the large compounds to the smaller compounds is called as a digestion. But after the breakdown into the smaller particle, it has to be absorbed in the form of the nutrient. It has to be absorbed in the intestine as in the form of the nutrients and then it is enter into the bloodstream. and if a person is suffering from the lackness or the deficiency of such enzymes, they are related to the diseases, and those diseases are called as the deficiency diseases. And I discuss about the deficiency diseases like the lactase deficiency disease and the sucrase deficiency disease. I think by this we are end up with the topic, and thank you.